It's windy here this morning. So, good Monday morning. Is that you?
No.
Nothing. On here.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm checking stuff.
Good morning, Bobby. Happy Monday morning. I was listening to the calf. So y'all will probably hear it in the background. Bobby says, hey, beautiful Deanna.
Good morning. Good morning. Texas weather, thank you.
Good morning, Amy. I hope you're doing well today. Your picture was awesome. I could see the difference. I know you said you can't, but I could. Good morning, Tom. How are you? He says good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
Hey, Dawn. Hi, Leanne. Oh, thanks. We appreciate that very much. Hey, Sandy. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. We have a partly cloudy, windy day. So I'm not going to complain because the breeze will keep us cooler. Hi, Diane and Patricia. Oh, good, Amy. I'm so glad. Hey, Melissa. How are you? So today we're going to remember who you are. Tell you a little bit about that here in a minute. Hey, Dylan. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're feeling well. Better. Hi, Miss Esta. How are ya? Hey, Retta. Oh, God. She says, good morning, honey dumpling. That girl. So excuse the hair because it's going to fly in the wind. Hey, Lori Creer. Thank you for sending me that picture of your completed wreath. It was awesome. Of course. Sorry. Tell Thad. Sorry, man. Oh, wow, Sandy, y'all are still getting thundery rain? Wow. Good morning, Louise. Hey, Debbie. So I hope y'all had a great weekend. We did. It was very exciting. We had a lot of fun, a lot of relaxation. Our friend Michelle Rezzo Redding with Monkeys Creations came and we hung out. She did a live here. She created an amazing thing in our group, Can-Am VIP Connection. She did great. She was something completely different. So we had a lot of fun. Really, Miss Joyce, you too. Well, I guess I'm glad. For the moment, we don't have any rain. We've been rained on for like over a month. Hi, Linda. Hey, Sherry, how are ya? She said, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Well, I don't know about the ladies part, but good morning. Hi, Lynn. So I thought we would talk about remember who you are. I think it's something, just from a lot of things that I've seen lately and heard and messages I've got, etc. Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. They're getting the yucky weather, too. I am, too. It was an honor to be invited to join the group and be an equal partner with two such amazing designers. It was very nice. And I love all of our followers. Y'all are a blast. Good morning, Lisa. Hey, Catherine. Good morning. So when my kids were growing up, ever since they were little, if ever they left me, like to go spend the day with grandma or their dad or whatever, go hang out with their friends or go to school. Good morning, Miss Vicky. My final words for them, other than I love you, was remember who you are. because, oh, I'm so glad, Jan. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Good morning, Deanna or Sue. Wonder who said that.
Hey, Loretta.
And my meaning for them, and they always understood because it was explained to them throughout their life, that when you're with me as a child, I'll remind you who you are and what kind of behavior is expected. Hi, Pamela. It's okay. It's okay. Hi, Doreen from Florida. Oh, God, I wish I was in Florida right now. Anyway, so it was for them to remind themselves that whatever happened, however people talked to them, whatever they were faced with, good, bad, or indifferent, they were to remember who they are. Remember their character, their core, how they're raised, all those things, so that it just was easier. And then when they would forget, they'd come home and tell on themselves. Yeah, I had those kids. Hi, Donna. Hey, Marla. Good morning. Oh, that's okay. There's always replay, guys. Huh? That's all right. Jessie just stepped out. She's going to feed her calf and then go pack all y'all's orders. Uh-oh. What did Retta say? Really, Retta? There's this thing about not telling untruths. We're going to have a chat, I guess. We do behave in our own special way. And so when I say remember who you are, that is really what I'm talking about for us, in particular as adults, that we never forget who we are at the core of our character. It's very easy when we're hanging out with people, whether we're strong or weak has nothing to do with it, really. It's very easy to kind of take on their attitude or to allow them to influence us in some way that may may counter who we are or how we feel about something. Good morning, Beverly. Hey, Ashley. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow. It'll be late in the day, but I should see you tomorrow. Anyway, give your mom a big old hug for me today. Hug each other. It's from me. And so that's one thing about remembering who you are. Don't allow others to influence your opinion of yourself or of others. And, you know, that's why we talk a lot about if you have a lot of negativity that surrounds you, you got to use your power to walk away from the negativity. Good morning, Vicky Spade. Hey, Sandy Stock. Good morning. Who will we be 5 years from today is a direct result of the books we read and the people we associate with. Absolutely. Who you hanging with? Who you're hanging out with very often says a lot about you. I'm not talking about people you work with. I'm talking about who you choose to enjoy your journey. Excuse me, with you. And if we remember who we are, then we're going to make choices today that will positively, good morning, Tony, affect our future. Hi, Kathy. And that's really the important thing. However, sometimes we get so focused on our future, like, okay, I want to make $250,000 next year. And so you're so focused on next year that you forget to enjoy who you are today. You came a long way to get to who you are. You've cultivated joy. You've raised your kids or are raising your kids. You've done all the things that you needed to do. And that equals who you are today. But if you focus so much on tomorrow, you forget today. And you miss those moments. We got to stop that. Hi, Kylene. Linda, thank you. That's right, Debbie. It speaks volumes. Kylene says, good morning, Drea and everyone. Just returned from Kentucky, visiting family. Oh my God, there goes the window. Oh my God, they are so supportive through this divorce. I would not make it through this trying time without my Reed family. Let's see more. Oh, pooey. It's not. There it is. Through this trying time without my Reed family and siblings. May God bless you all. Aw, that's so good to hear. You find out who your friends are, don't you? At least I get to hang. Aw, thanks, Linda. Right back at you. Jan says, yes, I'm always reminding myself to live and enjoy the present, not focusing on tomorrow. Hi, Michelle Joseph. Hi. And isn't that so important? So when I decided our theme for the day, I went back to volumes of old conversations we've had, Coffee with Dre, and I picked a few important things that we've already discussed, so we already know these things. We are not promised tomorrow. Good morning, my little cupcake. We miss you already. It was so fun to see her sweet face each morning and just hang out. It's a lot of fun. And you know, life can be crazy and complicated. But within that crazy, there's fun. Within that complicated, there's resolution. And only if we remember who we are at the core, are we going to be able to handle these things in a way that's best for us.
What?
We all are on the same destination. We just ain't maybe riding on in the same train car, right? Nobody, no one, I don't care who they are exempt from struggles, tough times, difficult circumstance. It's the realities of life. But if we remember who we are through those, we're going to be okay. Nobody said it would be easy. Good morning, Joyce. God is faithful and good all the time. Amen, amen. Hey, Huff, how you doing this morning? Make sure I didn't miss anyone. I'll try to see and say hi, but if I get on a rant or on my soapbox, it might take me a minute to catch back. Look at this wind is doing to me. Oh, well. And, you know, we know the saying, we find out who our friends are, as Kylene knows that she has support from us here, all of us. She knows she has support from her family, which is awesome, and she goes through a very difficult divorce. So, not only do you find that out, but you also find out what you are made of. Hopefully the good stuff. Now remember, you have to get the junk out of your mind and heart. The things, the unimportant BS that the world throws at us, you have to get it out. Let it go. Move on. Don't stay there wallowing in self-pity, negativity. It's not going to help you. It's not. And then it also makes it difficult for others who want to help you. Because you have to keep an open mind and heart. We've talked about this before, about don't shy away from new relationships. Good morning, Ramona Boudreau. How are you? Hey, Janet James. One of these days, I'm going to make it to your country. It's on my bucket list. Hopefully before I'm 70. And all of these things, it really does matter who you allow into your journey. Sometimes we make mistakes by who we allow in. And we don't always realize it right away. Sometimes they make mistakes by allowing us in because we may not be who they need in their life. Let's see. Sandy says, declutter the negative, make room for the positive. That's right. It's the only way to have a successful life. And I don't just mean financially. I mean emotionally, mentally, physically, all the things. Linda says, I work with a young woman who tried to be buddies. Let me see. Here we go. Who tried to be buddies when she started there about a year ago. I've held her off because I just didn't feel she was the right kind of person for me. Now she's about to be fired because of stealing from the company and doing things very inappropriate for the job. I am so glad I held back. Amen. Hey, Fredna. Amen. You went with your gut. You know, sometimes that women's intuition, that gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, is your best friend. I'm lovely, lovely. Thanks, Janet. Let's see. Let me see what other pearl of wisdom. One of the things you have to ask yourself, and I do ask myself this, even on days like today, I feel icky, just icky. But every day you have to find ways to choose joy and to make a difference. So the question I had written down on this day a year and a half ago was, what can I do today to shore up encouragement within me and joy within me for tomorrow and for the tough times. So no matter what I'm going through, is there something I can do today? Read scripture, talk to a friend who brings positivity into your life, or give them positivity. Is there something I can do to shore that up for myself? Because if you shore it up for yourself, it's going to be so easy to give. It just comes second nature to you, because you're always choosing joy, or you're always finding ways to encourage or to serve others. So it comes natural. You don't even have to think about it anymore, right, Miss Deanna? She's good at it.
Okay.
Do as your dog does: kick grass over the poop and walk away. Who's saying, hey, Dre from Ranch House, read some more? Would that be Deborah? Jesse? Oh, it's Deborah. Hi, precious Deborah. That's my amazing, I won the lottery daughter-in-law. She's been in my life 14 or 15 years. I can't imagine my life without her in so many ways. So, I think what some of us are guilty of sometimes is, hi, Sheila D. It was nice talking with you yesterday, precious friend. Hey, Becky Jones, how are you today? So glad to have you here. As I was saying, I think we're all guilty of this. The word worry. We should probably have a coffee with Dre about worry, not. But we spend more time worrying about our problems and our struggles than we do trying to solve them. Yes, she is a star. Hi, good morning, Miss Regina. So don't focus so much on your struggle, whatever it is, and forget all the good things. I have to do that a lot, because when I get worried, in particular, you know, it's like business related worry. When I get worried, I kind of almost fold up within myself, and I have to remind myself, or be gently reminded by Miss Deanna, to what about this? You know, what about this positive thing? Well, what if this? And then if you allow yourself to do that, to look at the possibilities instead of the impossibilities, it helps bring you out of that slump, and it helps you focus on what you need to be focused on. Top of the morning to you too, Miss Avenel. Good morning, Judy Demaray. How are you? Linda says, I feel badly for her, but I've tried to help and suggest alternatives. She just didn't really want any help. Have to walk away and not look back. Amen to that. Amen to that. Good for you. You saved yourself. The other thing I think happens, I have the opposite of this. I'll tell you what my problem is. I try really hard to solve my problems, and everybody else is around me, like in my family, like, oh my God, I can't fix that. Oh my God, I'm a terrible mother or a terrible wife or a terrible friend, right? So I do that. But I think too that sometimes we forget to solve our own problems and depend on others to do it for us. And when we do that, are they really solving our problem, or they're just putting a little Band-Aid on it because they're saying what we want to hear, or they think we need to hear, or doing what they think we need done, and it's not working. So they put a Band-Aid on it. So we've Band-Aided the symptoms, but we haven't corrected the issue. That's on us. That's what our power is for, is to take care of things for ourselves. Linda says, I've been feeling blue about it all morning, but now, oh, I'm so glad, Linda, because you did the right thing. You know, if self-preservation is very important. The older we get, the more we want to be preserved. No, the more we need to focus on that, because as women, I think, as a rule, women, and I'm a woman, that's the only way I can't talk for a man. I think we find ourselves wanting to, first of all, friend everyone that we work with, get along with everybody we work with, and then if they got issues or problems, we want to help with those issues or problems, and we forget to listen to our gut and that intuition that says, you know, I know a number of people, and I'm fine. I don't have issues with them, but I have this one little nagging doubt in there, and I don't know what it is sometimes. Sometimes we just don't listen to that. If you're wrong, you can fix it at another time. You know, like this young lady, if she would have been the kind of person that needed to be in your life, by now she would have shown that side. But instead, she proved your gut feeling was correct. And isn't that usually the case? Judy says, I'm a huge worrier. I worry for everyone else. Yeah, I know. We do too. I do too. But worrying doesn't solve a thing. All that worrying does is it adds stress to you mentally, and listen, and physically. Stress kills you. It kills. So if you're over worrying and you're stressing about not only your own things but others, thankfully I don't see my head shaking with her scratching her behind on the table.
No, but
the dog is using the table as a scratching board. So what I want you to do today, whatever circumstance you find yourself in, do something that makes your circumstance, oh well, that might be shaking it, that makes your circumstance better. Do I look like I'm shaking?
A little bit. Yep.
Lucy, stop it. Lucy. Aren't dogs great? Joyce Tirani, could you please pray for me? Absolutely. First of all, my son is paralyzed for over 2 years now and doing great, but he infused that he does not need me at the youth camp this year. He is a youth leader at our church. I know God has him, but this mom has concern. We will absolutely pray for you. But isn't that an amazing thing that he feels blessed, strong enough, has the grace of God to help him make it without mom. Tough on mom, wonderful for him. Lucy, stop it.
Lucy, quit. Hey.
Melissa says she doesn't worry anymore. I leave it to God. I learned
Quit.
that when I was very sick. Amen.
Quit.
Janet says that since she moved to Ireland, I don't stress or worry as much. More at peace with my... Hell, maybe I need to move to Ireland then. Bianca... Oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up that last name.
How'd I get... Did you just flip your phone?
Did it flip? Oh, well, look out there. I guess I did. Where's the flip button? Oh, right there. There we go.
Hey, everybody.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Joyce agrees that it's a great thing. It really is. I'm sorry. I'll pray for you, though, that you have the strength to let it happen for him. Bless him. Sheila D says it's her nature to worry. Girl, stop it.
We all do it.
We do. Jennifer says, let's all move to Ireland. Well, then that would be stressful.
Good morning, Sandy.
Sending prayers for strength. Yes. Good morning, Krista. Hey, Judy. Oh, thanks. It's just green. I haven't done a thing to the yard yet this year. We've had too much rain. Thank you. Thank you. It is very peaceful out here. Very peaceful. Quiet, breezy. The only problem is the heat. Can't hide from that. And when you remember who you are, remember this. It does not matter what's... Lucy, stop. Stop it. Lucy.
Come on.
Go.
Let's go.
I know you're itchy, baby. You can itch after. Oh, Jan, I want your problem. We're going to have to hang out, girl. The hubby gets mad at me sometimes because I don't worry. Bobby, he is doing well. He's still in a lot of pain. We found out that this morning that he has to go through another 5 weeks of physical therapy to build up his stamina. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That is so sweet. The Stars, as you know, go to, oh my gosh, I'm going to say the wrong name. It's a horse rescue that's in dire need of money and, you know, things. So that's where it goes right now. Anyway, his surgery 1 is scheduled for August 3rd. Surgery 2 is scheduled for either August 4th or 5th. It depends on how he does on that second day after. And then he has 3 months of inactivity. 3 months. And he's like me. He likes to be busy all the time. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll teach him how to make wreaths in the bed. I mean, that's what UITC boards are for, right? We'll see. Anyway, so we're glad that there's he has to have 2. There's surgery date scheduled where I'm just like, oh. Thank you, Janet. We appreciate that. He appreciates all your prayers. Michelle, it's unusual. May is usually our rainiest month. The last few years, not so much. This year, it rained all month. It's rained all the way into June. I think yesterday we did not have rain, but it looks like we're going to get some today. So yes, it's kind of unusual for us here to have this much rain, you know, for this long. But I like the rain, so I'm good with it. That's right, Bobby. You don't see him being inactive, so I'm going to have to probably sit on him or something. Brenda, I have no earthly. He likes to read, so I'm going to get him some books. He loves American and Texas history, the true history kind of stories, that kind of thing. So I'm going to get him some books. There's always Netflix. That's, you know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I will tell him. Sheila D is his girlfriend, by the way, just so y'all know. Thank you, Stacy. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted to find that brilliant thing I read. So this was a couple years ago in Coffee with Drea. Which is funny because this was pre-COVID and all the craziness, but it said what I wrote and squared off is the world today is full of distraction. Take a deep breath, refresh your thoughts, put the distractions aside, and listen to your own heart. Sometimes the things that we discuss need to be revisited because we need to be reminded because our world is crazy right now. So we need to be reminded to kind of like put the blinders on to some of the BS, y'all. We're not going to stop it. What we can do, though, is throw the positivity out there. I'm still seeing a lot of people, not just in the Rethink community I belong in, but in others as well, commenting back on negativity. Let it go. Just let it go. Because what happens is the negative person feels validated, and we don't want that validation. We don't want to validate negative commentaries against people. I know someone who recently told me that she doesn't want to do lives anymore because of how ugly people were to her. I had another friend call me and say, hey, I just buried my child not too long ago. I'm doing lives. I'm having to fake it. Are people going to think I'm fake? Girl, no. No, they're not. And you weren't fake. I watched your lives. You are not fake. You don't even act fake in my mind. You don't. But having buried children, I understand there are still days where I have to go, oh, must I smile? I'm not feeling it. But you do. Yeah, I'm thinking that too, Michelle, that I'm going to have to have him restrained somehow. But, you know, my husband will be 73 in July. So he has to have the surgeries now. Because, as the doctor said, as he gets older, he may not be able to have them. And, you know, besides, I don't want him walking around in a lot of pain. You know, we'd like to do some traveling together, and he's unable right now because of the difficulty, you know, on the road and in the planes and things. So, it's a positive thing. I'll have to just be good. There you go. Get him an iPad. Well, I have one. I suppose I could let him use it. Yep, actually, absolutely right, Janet. If we let them. I sometimes let them. I'll be honest. There are times where somebody will say or do something, and I'm like, what? You know, and I allow it to bring me down. And then after a day or two of thinking on it or discussing it with a friend, I realize, okay, this is who they are, and this is how, silly phone calls. And this is how the choices they make, this is how they do it. Doesn't mean that I have to let it affect me negatively. I have to do that. And I have to remember sometimes who they are, not just who I am. That's so nice. We have a YouTube channel. Deborah has put some of Coffee with Drea on there. I don't know that she's put any other videos on there, but she has done some of the Coffee with Dre's. Melissa says that's why I like YouTube. They encourage us to eliminate negativity on our videos and make it easy. Stacy says, I take negative comments to heart. And that's the part we have to work on, Stacy, is not taking them to heart. Consider the source. And sometimes that alone will help you get it out of there, because you'll realize that, hey, that's a negative Nancy or Nellie. I shouldn't say Nellie. Nellie's a friend. It is the negative people that can crush us if we give them the power to do so. So we really have to work on not giving that power to somebody. And y'all, if you're watching lives, YouTube, wherever, well, YouTube is so much easier, I guess. But if you're watching lives and the person doing the live is bringing you down, you know what you do? Leave the live. Or turn the sound off if you want to watch what they're doing. Swipe the comments if the people are being negative or name-cally or picking on people. I see it every day. Swipe them comments. You don't need to know. You don't care. Just watch what you're there to watch and move on. Don't give negativity the air it needs to breathe, to grow. I agree, Drea. Oh, yay, somebody agrees with me. You really have to ignore that negative person. I stay away from them. I will not listen or respond. I look at who that person is, and pray for them. Absolutely pray for them. Typically, the negative comments have everything to do with the person speaking them and not us. We are just convenient. Absolutely. Good advice.
Did you see the stars you got earlier?
Yeah. I used to care. I did say something. I used to care about everything and everyone said about me. It was so debilitating. Yes, Amy. Yes. And sometimes, what's sad about that, Amy, and you and I have talked about this quite a while back, it's people we willingly let into our lives and hearts, and they crush us. And then we have to struggle to get out of that situation. It's tough. So be careful. Jan says, huh?
Good.
I'm sorry to say that my mother is one of the most negative people I know, and I can only be around her for so long. She feeds off negativity, and she's a Christian, and she should know better.
I wonder if she lives alone or if she's by herself.
Does she live alone? That's sad. I'm sorry. Oh, it's all my wholesalers calling. Why haven't you ordered? There are a few designers that I can't watch anymore because of their negativity. They're crazy talented, but I can't let the negative ever back in. It isn't healthy. Absolutely, Dunk. You're absolutely right. Hey, Suzanne. Say hi to the babies, the girls and the boys. I saw the pictures. Good for you, Janet. And I try to do that too, for the person hosting the live. But I don't do it as a response, as a reply to the negative. So, if somebody says, I don't like your hair, and they do attack people personally, I don't like your hair, I don't hit the reply on I don't like your hair, because then I'm validating their comment. I make a straight up comment about, I might say, I love the color of your top. I love your nails. Don't give the negative person the validation they're looking for. They don't deserve it.
Well, thank you, Joyce. Just sent the stars.
Oh, thanks. Good morning, Wendy. Amy says, exactly, and it destroyed me. Then I realized I wasn't the issue and stopped trying to fix me for them. Man, truer words have never been spoken, have they? I'm proud of you for that, Amy, and
Was good.
I know what you've been through, and some we share, but we have to walk away. We have to. If we stay there and allow somebody to continue to beat us up, it's on us. What? Who said?
Sue.
I can't see. Can you read Sue's? There it is.
If I get.
I had a friend for many, many years that everything had to be her way or she was always bringing me down. She yelled at me for the last time and I feel as if a huge weight lifted. I just pray for her and wish her the best, just not with me. Wow, Sue. You're strong. That's a toughie. That's a toughie, but we can only allow ourselves to be beaten down for so long before we have to go, done. Saw somebody else. Maddie Lavallo, good morning, young lady. She says, I had that issue happen. It was a family member on my husband's side. For 30 years, we shared birthdays with kids. Her mom died and she broke all ties. I tried to talk to her, ask her if there was something I did or didn't do. Her reply was, I don't want to talk about it. I still don't know what I did. See, you reached out, you tried. Good morning, Sally from England. How's it doing? How you doing over there across the pond? Good morning, Sherry. Yes, she is, Janet. Amy's awesome. She's been through some crap. Bobby says, I choose joy only. I choose to only go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. It makes life's choice so much easier. Absolutely.
It does. It takes a while to figure that out.
It does. It does. I don't want to be tolerated either. demeaning. You know, I don't want well, I want everybody to like me, don't we all? But I don't expect everyone to like me. I'm not everybody's cup of tea or glass of beer or whatever. But that's okay. Don't try to bring me down because we can't be friends. You know what I mean? I'm not for you or you're not for me, and it is what it is. Family too. That's a tough one when it's family. Because for some reason, due to, you know, blood, we feel obligated to have them in our lives, and I'm like, no. No, when you bring me and my children, the one in particular I'm thinking of at the time, down constantly and don't lift us up. What did Monkey's shirt say yesterday? We rise by lifting others. Truer words. And so if you're constantly the negative person bringing us down, I'm sorry I can't hang out with you. I'll see you at family function. Bye.
Not everybody can raise everybody up.
Oh, thanks, Wendy. I'm glad you're here too. Hi, Teresa Pace. How are ya? Sorry if I missed you earlier. I like that saying, Bobby. I'm going to have to write that down. The world is way too big to have to deal with people who don't like me. I just move on. Me too. Hi, Debbie Corbett. How are you? Right, we move on. We have to. Good morning, Carrie. You're here. You're not in replay. Hi, Carrie. Hi. Oh, Dawn, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Amen, Bobby.
What did Bobby say? I'm going to take a sip of coffee and let you read it to me.
Well, you read it. I'll read one. So many others just want people who feed their egos, and to me, ego equals God edging God out. Those are the people I turn and quietly walk away from.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I walk away, but not so quietly. Yes, and it's hard right now. I'm Mom and Dad's chauffeur and errand person until Mom can drive again. We took Dad's key away because of Alzheimer's. Aww. Jen, and you're such a sweet, happy person. Isn't that funny how that works sometimes?
That's going to be a hard situation.
Listen. Yeah, it would be hard. I agree with Bobby. I'm not going to feed an ego. I will encourage. I will share joy, but I don't want to feed your ego. Now, let's remember, sometimes people that appear to be egotistical may not be. They may be hurt. Just hurt people, and that's how my mom was like that. She seemed so cold and distant, and she's not that kind of person. But people always said she thought too much of herself. She thought too highly of herself. That was her cover. That's how she faked, what's the word? Feeling confidence. She faked it. Because she was hurt. And so, take your time to get to know who we're talking with. Now, there are those that are obviously their ego, the braggarts type people in particular. I'm not talking about people who share success to encourage success. I'm talking about people who share things to brag, to get that pat on the back. I will pat you on the back, but try not to force me to do it. Let me pat you on the back because I feel like you deserve it, right?
Yay, Marie!
Yay! Yay, I'm glad you made it.
Prayers for you while you're there.
Yes. Many prayers for you.
And when you're not there.
And the other thing is, we have a tendency to always start over, right? We allow somebody else to make us feel like whatever it is we're doing isn't good enough. So then we start over. Well, why are you going to let people do that to you. And if you're tired of starting over, here's the clue. Stop giving up. Stop giving up. Something that I like to say, yesterday you said tomorrow. Today's tomorrow. Get it done, right? I have to remind myself of that. I have a tendency to put off things I don't want to deal with. Usually it's paperwork stuff. And I need to stop doing that, because then I drive myself crazy and stress myself out. Like, tax deadline in Texas is next week. And remember, too, that you can't move a mountain all at once. It's one step at a time, one shuffle at a time, if that's all you can do. One shovel at a time. Or if the detour around the mountain doesn't harm you, detour. If detouring that mountain harms you, then shovel your way through. You can do it.
Well, there's Becky Jones and Tequila.
Hey, Tequila, how are you? Another one of the designers for TDR 2021.
How you doing, Miss
The
Becky?
queen of positive reinforcement right there. Well, I can't see what Amy said. Why does it keep doing that?
Mine are so light it's hard to read.
I have been worried about... I need to wear a dark shirt. That's what it is. Look, let's put this in
maybe,
front.
okay.
There we go. I can read it now. I see my mom, and I know why she's so negative. She's bitter because she thought Dad would always take care of her, and now she's mad. She was negative before, but has only gotten worse. I love her, but just... let's see. Let's see. Way too much. Just can't be around her. The negativity is too much and tries to rub off on me. Tequila, stop it. Now you're a mentor of positivity to many people. And let me tell you something about Miss Florence. She don't let you, like, say, I'm having a bad day. She will get in your face and tell you, you're not having a bad day, girl. You are not. In a sweet, kind way. And remind you of Scripture. Love that. Remember a couple of months ago we talked about boundaries? That's part of remembering who you are too. Remember we said that you need to set them because that's the guidelines for how people know to treat you? That's part of it. Don't forget to set those boundaries. If people are treating you poorly, did you move that boundary back to give them a little more room to treat you more poorly? Don't do that. Leave the boundary there and don't allow them to cross it. And if they do, you can tell them how you feel. You can. And tell them what your needs are. Lori Crayer, let's see. I worry because I probably did the last few because I didn't want to cry the entire time because everyone would talk about my Megan. I did not go to my nephew's wedding on Saturday because it's so close to my anniversary and I just didn't feel like I could deal with it. Am I wrong? No.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. That, without reservation, no ma'am. I will tell you, I don't do weddings well. If it's someone really close to me, I will go. I don't stay long.
Or if you don't go, they understand.
Or if I don't go, yes, thankfully, because I make it plain. I don't do funerals. The funerals that I have done were difficult, and so I told my husband, you know, he's at the age where he attends, and he's also a Mason, and that, you know, a lot of those guys are older, so there's a lot of funerals that he has to attend. I cannot do it. So no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's difficult. I think people that have not lost a child probably don't understand what seeing a wedding or being at a wedding even can do to you if that child had not had that opportunity. Or, you know, there's lots of things that bring up lots of pain. And you get to self-preserve. You get to save yourself from that. I know my limitations, and I can't. Aw, thanks, Tony. You take care too, sweet lady. Joyce says, I lost my husband in July. One of the sisters, for some reason, every time I'm trying to have a happy moment, wants to take me down. We all went out to eat with friends. She gives ornaments. Mine was my husband's name over wings. She might thought it encourages you. Joyce, I don't know how close you are to her. I'm going to assume you'll, I would tell her. I would. You know, people, I'm one of those people, I love it when people talk to me about my kids, the two that passed away. I love when their high school friends, you know, see me and say, hey, I remember Justin when, or I remember Dee Dee when, or ran into, last summer I ran into one of Dee Dee's old teachers. I like it, and I have all along, but I have friends who can't, who just can't handle always being reminded of their child and what they lost. And another one, it was her, not husband, but kind of, they lived together for a very long time. She couldn't handle it either. So I would tell her, I love you. I know you feel like you're encouraging me, but right now at this stage of my grief, it's not helping.
Well, and the other sad part of that is you don't know, as the sister, if that was her husband's sister, her grieving is totally different than the wife's grieving.
I think it is his sister.
So it's hard to...
Oh,
I
Joy.
understand that.
I'm so sorry for your friend. Yeah, and hopefully she knows... Good morning. Hopefully she knows you well enough to understand when you talk to her. Here we go. I told you tequila was a mentor. You have to establish what you are able to handle. A lot of times we do things to make others happy, and it makes us miserable. This is also part of seeing boundaries. If they truly love you, they will respect your choice not to participate. There you go. And really, I really believe those that care about us, and I think obviously she really cares, because that, honestly, that's a very touching thing she gave you. Mm-hmm. You just weren't in a place to be able to receive it that way, right? So it's okay. It's okay to tell. Right, Lori? Lori says she loves it too, that Megan's friends still stop by and all that. That's awesome. That's awesome. But we all know what we can and can't handle. Stacy Till. She said she loves it when people remember and share their stories about her son. Oh, let's see. I can't read. Again, I'm going to put this up so I can read. I said that it is the first drug in 20 years, but it's done as an infusion and costs between $30,000 and $50,000. What? I must have missed. Paying $653 for insulin is enough for me. Wow. No kidding. My sister-in-law is very protective of herself. They had 2 daughters die, and we can't speak or have pictures. Breaks my heart. Oh, you know, for some people, they just can't. It's nice that you respect that, though. Exactly, Sue. We have to share our boundaries so other people know. We have to tell them. Oh, you're welcome, Joyce. Thank you. No. You guys are my blessing. I'm just a facilitator of mutual encouragement, right? Don't forget to respect yourself and who you are, y'all. Remember that what you put up with, that's what you end up with. So if you're putting up with crap, guess what? You're going to end up with crap.
It's like somebody on there said earlier that they were taught you are what you ate.
Yeah.
If you ate it, that's what you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could take it and look at it. What you take in is what you turn into be.
That's right. And remember that you're the one teaching people how to treat you. I always tell this, I told this to my kids in relationships. The way you want that relationship to be, okay, like me, for example. I come from that servant wife generation, subservient and servant, you know. You cook the meals, you put it on the plate for them and carried it to them. Yes, I was that wife. I set the tone for that. So many years later, what he told me, he says, you know, you don't have to do that. I was like, what? I thought you expected it. He said, well, I do, because that's what you've always done. So there's the key. You teach people what, how to treat you and what to expect from you by what you allow and what you do. So be careful with that.
Oh, wise one, why is it so easier to take care of others before you take care of yourself?
When I figured that out, I'll let you know.
Like an answer to that one.
It is true, and Deanna is very much a caretaker person. If she, like, for example...
Not to myself, I'm not.
No. For example, if I say, oh my gosh, I have a headache, I can, within moments, I'll have Tylenol in front of me. If it's doable for her at that time. That's a caretaker. That's somebody that sees a need and wants to take care of it. She took care of her husband till he passed for 15 years. They were married 24, but she took 15 years of him. So it's in her, and she's cared for her mom, all of them. So a lot of us are that person, that caretaker person. I'll be honest. This is really hard to say. I was raised not thinking that I mattered, told that I didn't matter, that I was unimportant, and didn't deserve this or that or the other thing, right? So when you're raised that way, God bless my mom, I love her, we are fine now. I'm talking about my youth, okay? Not so much my dad, but my mom made amends and actually apologized for being so hard on me. However, when you are beaten down, trodden on, and made to feel less than everybody else, you don't think you deserve to have someone take care of you. You feel like it's your job, because you're not worthy, they are worthy. It's your job to be their caretaker. And I'm not talking about caretaker when they're ill. Of course we're going to take care of people. I mean in general, where I worry more about everybody else than I do myself. Now, I have worked on that once I realized where it might have been coming from. Therapy helped, where I realized that I am worthy, I have value, my thoughts and feelings, my emotions, my needs, my desires, my dreams are all equally important to everyone else's. When you can get that in your mind, it helps. You then learn to say N-O. That's a toughie, isn't it?
That's a hard one.
It is tough to say no. Sheila didn't. Her and I had a conversation, and she's like, Jay, it's okay. You can say no. I have other responsibility or whatever. You don't even have to explain. And I was like, she's right. Right. So, okay, no. And so I think that's part of the problem. Wouldn't you agree that sometimes it comes from, it's a generational thing too, I think. I think our generation is probably the last generation where women were expected to be the caretaker, right? Yes, Bobby, you are conditioned to be a servant. That is true. Not that we shouldn't serve others. We should. It could be serve them with kindness, a smile. But we should not feel that that is our only lot in life, is to serve others. You know, the Cinderella thing.
No, but man, Bobby does it with a smile constantly.
She does.
She does. That's an awesome gift.
She does it from the heart.
Yes, she does.
Both my daughters lost their husbands 7 weeks apart. Oh my gosh. They were left with a newborn and an 8-year-old. They have gathered strength through each other and caring for each other's girls to give each other a break on bad days. Oh, that is bittersweet. That is so sad. And so encouraging all at the same time. Good for your daughters. You know what? You must have been an amazing mom. Right, Annette? No, but thanks for asking. Mm-hmm. Even when we forgive the negatives of our youth that were given to us, it can take a lifetime to overcome them, to be able to rise above them. Sandy, that is absolute truth, and it does take work. That's why this choosing joy movement is about activity. Choice, choosing, that's an action word. You have to cultivate it. You have to work at it. And that is why, because so many of us, especially people in the creative world, it seems, so many have been downtrodden, either by our youth or by a husband or just by the world in general. And we have to come out of it. We have to, because God gave you this life for a purpose. You have a purpose. And that purpose can't be fulfilled if you allow others to make you feel less than. You're not less than. You're just as much the clay as anybody else is. And you have to allow yourself to be molded into who you are supposed to be. Molded by God. Don't allow other people to dictate that for you. Man, is that a hard lesson? It truly is. Because I can still, to this day, hear things that my father said to me. The older you get, the dumber you get. You're never going to amount to anything, etc. Things like that. That's what he said. Now, how that encourages children, I don't know. But those are thoughts that still 60 years old, and they still come forward quite a lot. But I put them back. I'm like, boy, was he wrong. People do love me. I did find love in my life. I'm not dumb. You know, all the things. You can overcome. Please know that you can overcome. What is that choppy thing Facebook?
Marla said also, she says, Drea, I was raised the same way. I was always told I was no good and called all kinds of nasty words by my dad, and today I have a hard time believing in myself.
See, Marla, don't let your dad win. If I don't know what your relationship is with him now, but whatever happened in your youth, this is an important subject for me, and it is. I've tackled it to some degree in the book, and I'm adding some more. That is why it's not done yet, y'all. I'm adding more, because I don't know why some parents, fathers, mothers, both of them, whatever, feel the need to try to squash their kids, right? And their belief in self, their self-esteem. My mom once told me, this is weird. My mom once told me, I didn't do these things because I didn't want you to get a big head and think too highly of yourself and then go out there in the world. Really? That doesn't even make sense to me. I was just the opposite. So we really had to figure out a way to move past it. And I'll tell you, the first step is forgiveness, for real. It's a hard thing to forgive. A lot of things that happened to us in our youth are very difficult to forgive. But we forgive for us, not for them. So if we can forgive, and what Proverbs says, guard your heart, but it also, because it determines your course. So we have to guard it. But if our heart has already been smashed, we have to revive it, right? Give it some CPR, man. Give it, choosing joy and positivity. Choose positivity, revive. CPR. That's what you're doing. Okay. I'll try less. Oh, did I miss any? Oh, Marie. I know, Sue, but it happens. And I know Loretta was raised the same way. Maybe that's why we became such good friends.
Tequila said, listen, I still hear the people who all said I would never be anything. They told me I would be in jail or hell by 20. Yeah.
Isn't that sad? And these are people that when we're
Kathy.
born, we trust whoever we're around. They're gonna take care of us. They love us. They tell us they love us. Well, mine didn't, but you know, the people that are feeding us and providing a roof over our head are supposed to take care of us, which is they do, but I don't know, something gets lost in the translation of love never fails, love's the most important, you know. And what I find interesting is a large percentage of the people that I know who had it rough as a child as far as self-esteem, their parents were Christian. So, I mean, my dad took that 40 whacks literal. So I think in their own distorted way, they thought that they were preparing us for the world. I guess. It doesn't make it right.
I always think that they did the best they could with what they knew how and how they were raised.
Mm-hmm.
And at the times they were in, which are totally different than the times now.
The times are different. But I forgave. Now, I'm very thankful that I forgave, in particular my mom, because over the years, I've gotten to know more and more about how downtrodden she was. She was born in war-torn Germany, and things were not okay over there. And raised, I won't go into it here, maybe some other time. She had a very, very difficult childhood. How that woman had any sense of purpose or sense of self-esteem, I don't know. And so when I forgave her and started to listen with not only my mind but my heart, I was able to go, okay, I get it. And my mom was not the harsh of the two. It was my dad, just so you know. And back then, wives didn't tell their husbands to cut it out. They didn't. Oh, Bobby turned to God, and that's what helped her through. And I turned away because I thought, my thoughts were, if this is what being a Christian is about, I don't want nothing to do with it. So I didn't go pagan or heathen or anything in the negative sense, but I walked away from God. I thought, which is funny though. I walked away from God, but I never stopped praying. Isn't that something? How you can do that, but you can.
It's just like you ran away.
Marla. That's right, Bobby. Forgive is for you. I so wish I could give you the biggest hug right now. You say things that bring tears and then have a way to make my day a lot brighter. Thank you. Oh, Marla. Well, hopefully we'll get to meet one day, because I would like a hug right back. Isn't it something how we all have so much in common, yet we're so different? Carol. Hey, Carol.
Right on. Thank you. You too.
There you go. I know I have to forgive, but I sure can't forget. My husband and I divorced after 42 years together. I thought we had a good life together, but he had others, oh God, on the side. I just couldn't stay and see this happening. So after we lost my grandson, I thought, life is too short. I filed for divorce. I took 9 years for divorce to get over. Good Lord. Now my life seems empty, but I'd never go back. I miss my grandson so much. Some days I'm good, but sorry so long. First of all, bless you. Bless you, Carol. What a horrible thing to have to go through after such a traumatic thing as losing a grandchild. A grandchild is much like losing your own child. Plus you see your child suffer the loss of a child, so it's a double whammy.
Plus 42 years of marriage.
Plus 42 years of marriage. Yes, my goodness. I celebrate you. I am sorry that you feel lonely. Please don't. Get out there and join a group. A group that you can have physical contact with people. I don't know if you're religious. Maybe there's a women's group at church. Go to a crafting club or something like that. Just so you don't feel so alone. I wish I could tell you the loss of your grandson will get better. It won't. What happens is, you just, as you probably already know, it gets a little bit easier to deal with. You fall apart a little less. You relive the loss a little less with time. And so I hope that the awesome memories you had with your grandson will carry you through. And I hope and pray that you find a way to not feel so alone.
If you're a crafter, get together with some friends, or I know it's scary, go to your first event. That right there is kind of life-changing.
It's changed lives for a lot of people to have gone to an event. And I don't mean a huge event. It could be a small event. It could be, a day event. Just to be around like-minded people. Wow. I'm so sorry, Carol. My heart hurts for you.
Where'd the Colt? Suzanne said he's waving like crazy.
Hi, Colt. Hi. Sorry. Waving to a little child.
Right, Carrie.
What Carrie say?
She says, turn it over to God. Forgiveness doesn't mean having a relationship. It is a way of removing it from your heart so you can move on.
That's true. Sometimes when we forgive, we can continue a relationship. Sometimes when we forgive, we cannot. Sort of like when a wife stays after a husband has an affair. I have some experience with that. I told him one day, I'm not going to punish you for this anymore. You get to live with what you've done. But I'm forgiving you, and we're going to move forward. And it worked out. We remained married probably another 15 years after that. Those were our really great years. We did eventually end in divorce for other reasons. And he happily remarried, a month later or so. So all is well. We get along great. Well, as great as you can, with an ex-husband and his wife. But you can forgive and move on in a relationship. The key, though, is when you forgive, and you can't keep bringing it up. Like, well, you had that affair. Well, you had that affair. You can't keep bringing it up. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, but it means forgiveness. For you, mostly, really. They don't deserve it, but you do.
Bobby's earlier was, it's funny, I've always thought that if God sent his son to be murdered on a cross so I can live with him forever, that I would not be getting that I would not be getting it any easier. Why at age 8, that was my thought process. But I'm so glad I had so many priests that helped me know where to turn.
That's awesome. Cherie, what did I just read? I went to church, Bible school, and trips with the church. I was baptized, but no, I won't forgive. I am protecting my heart. Cherie, I felt the same way for years and years and years and years. I can't even count the years. And then one day I read this article that said God understands that we can't, as humans, we can't forgive some of the most heinous things that people have done to us. But God still loves us. And he forgives us for not forgiving in situations like that. Do you know, knowing that, and I can't remember the scriptures in that article, knowing that made it possible for me to forgive. I know it sounds weird. It probably took me, let me think, I'll tell you, 30 years to be able to forgive. Honestly, forgive. My dad is who I'm talking about. Don't ever want anything to do with him? Nope. Would I ever let him into my life? Nope. But I forgive him for what he did. So, if forgiveness is meant to be for you in this circumstance, you'll know when the time is right for you. You still guard your heart. That forgiveness ain't for them. They don't deserve forgiveness. That forgiveness is for you, so that you don't become bitter as time goes by.
That is true. I had to do that recently to somebody last year, almost a year ago.
Cherie.
For something that they did that I never thought in my adult life I would ever see or hear or know about. And struggling with the forgiveness. And what they ended up passing away last year, and I'm so glad I did. Doesn't mean I forgive what they did, but because I forgave them, I don't have to go the rest of my life saying and beating myself up for not forgiving them for what they did.
And Sherry, is it Cherry or Cherie? I never can remember. You don't have to. You don't have to tell anybody anything, and you don't have to forgive.
Nope.
You really don't. And knowing, if you, we always say, "Forgive me as I forgive others," but knowing that God understands that there are some things we just as human beings cannot forgive. The pain is so deep. He gets it. That's okay. And we are here as your friends.
That is your walk with the Lord, not ours.
And that's your journey anyway.
Yes, it is your journey.
Mm-hmm. So,
yep.
Thank you for sharing that, though, because maybe that allowed somebody else who's watching to understand that you can be a good human being and have a wonderful journey without forgiving someone of a horrible wrong against you. Oh, she likes me saying Cherie.
Oh.
Mon chéri?
Oh. That's what I think when I see it.
I saved the landlord's life and took the rough of it. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You are a strong woman.
Yep.
And you know what makes me know how strong you are, actually? Do you know how strong you have to be to admit that you were wronged and you're not forgiving? Most people would never share that. But you just did.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because you just gave power to someone else who needed to hear that.
Yep.
Janet, my strict dad asked me to forgive him the day before he passed away. My answer was, for what? Trying to raise me as you thought was right? Aww. Well, there's a difference between being a strict father and being an abusive person. So I'm hoping for you that he was strict but not abusive, because that is really well. And when my mom came to me and apologized several times after I was an adult and after she had left my dad, interestingly enough, and apologized. I told her, Mom, it's okay. I turned out all right. All of us are okay. So let it go. Forgive yourself. Cherie says, my mother's fault. My name is Cheryl, but she called and spelled it that way. No one even bothers that. No one even.
3 brothers that never called me one time in my life Cheryl. My name is Cherie. Cherry.
So it's probably Sherry.
Very Cherie.
I like Cheryl.
It's pretty cool.
More Cherie?
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds kind of sexy. Teresa. I know I missed someone, and that's all. We all do. That's right. When we're able. When it's our time. Bye, Amy. Continue healing. You look great. I thought you looked great before, but I can definitely see the weight loss. And I know that makes you happy to lose the weight. So, yay. Carol says.
Amen, Carol.
I can't even see it again.
Says, thank you all. I do have a church I go to and I do pray. I have forgiven him because I want to go to heaven and see my sweet grandson. Whoops, wait a minute. I'm going to be okay, but I just miss the life I had with him. We did so much as a family. I'm trying sometimes, but it's hard. It is hard. It is hard.
That was the really hard thing about my divorce too, and what led up to knowing there was coming a divorce was, and you know, divorce is like a death.
It is.
All the things you did and all the plans you had
Okay.
are gone. And then you kind of have to find your new normal. That's tough. Bye, Tequila. You have an amazing week, too. We love you on purpose as well.
Different. I've been on both sides of both of them.
Phyllis. Hi, Phyllis. Good to see you. Had a terrible life with my mom, but I still loved her, even though she never said, right up to the day she died, that she loved me. When she died, I felt a great weight lifted off me. And it was the first time I was actually happy. Oh, I'm so sorry that... Do you see? We have such a profound effect on the people by the way we treat them. We better be better people, right? We need to do whatever we can do today to make us personally a better person so that we can never be that person that doesn't tell people how we feel about them.
No, the only thing we can do is be the best that we can be with the knowledge that we have. Don't fake it to make it. Be the best you can with what you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And sometimes that's even easier said than done.
All right, y'all. I think I've kept... Oh, my gosh. We went way over an hour. I'm so sorry. Y'all go on about your day. Oh, hi, Tanya. Have an amazing... And Debbie Corbett, I don't know if I said hi, but hi. Y'all have an amazing, blessed week. Don't forget, remember who you are. You are an amazing human being. Remember that. And also, remember to bring wasp. Joy to all you meet. Just give them a smile. You don't have to do anything else. Just give them a smile. Oh, it's barbecue time in Ireland.
Ooh.
So, y'all, never give up your power. That's the power to be that amazing human being God intended you to be, and only you can be. So be yourself and remember who you are. And finally, always, always, always choose joy, y'all. Bye.